Welcome to India's most comprehensive e-learning platform, BYJU'S Exam Prep. And also, special welcome to all ECE and electrical instrumentation students for this great and wonderful MSQ series. First of all, good evening to RRR, okay, Raghuram, and good evening Chinmay Rai, and good evening Tharun, and good evening Karthik. How are you guys? I hope MSQ series it has already started on 17th January, right? So I think for this particular series I came little bit late, isn't it? Krishnaveni, good evening. How are you guys? How your preparation is going? And I feel that you might have completed all the subjects. Maybe you might be in the revision process, or you might be writing the exams, right? So many students, they have approached us and they were asking continuously that sir, take some session on the MSQ series. As you all know, MSQs were started a couple of years back, and recently we have observed that the proportion of MSQs are increased in the GATE examination, that is multiple select question. Now you might tell me freely, do you think that the concept of MSQs is really difficult or easy? If you ask me this question, I say that conceptual wise the questions in the MSQ may not be difficult, but the execution is difficult from the student side. The reason is, in a multiple select question, assume that out of 4 options, 3 options may be right, but you got 2 options correct and you are not able to select the third option. Then obviously you will not get the marks, isn't it? So that is one biggest problem. Second problem is, it is easy for a examiner, that means the person who create the question paper, to ask a very conceptually deep question and lengthy question, especially in MSQ type. That is the reason why naturally it takes a lot of time to solve one single MSQ question, correct? And more or less the students are not habituated for MSQs, right? So that's why we came up with the MSQ series. I hope this series is really helping you a lot, and if it is helping you, please let me know in the comment section. Yes, it is really helpful to you. Okay, Ashish Kumar, good evening, and Ganta Bharat, good evening, and of course, Sachasri, good evening. How are you? Yes. So what we do is, in today's session we will look at the questions related to control system subject, but trust me, don't judge whether the question is difficult or easy, but look at the way how MSQs can be introduced in the control system. That means how they can ask so many questions in a single question. Okay, so we have tried our best to introduce the questions. At the same time, I'm again repeating that look at, because already you have completed control system, revision is also completed, marathon section is also completed, and the test series is also completed. Now we are almost in the last lap of the examination, correct? So let's quickly get into the topic. Right, very good RRR, thank you very much. Right, so before going to the actual session, as I said, we will be dealing with the control system subject in today's lecture, and moving ahead, you are going to have from 21st to 22nd, see almost, right? So you can see 13 marks you can score in 2 days, and the legends of BYJU'S Exam Prep Rakesh Sir and Ankit Sir and the most experienced person in the team, Divi Sridhar Sir, are going to come for live, okay, and they will going to take all the sessions, all the topics of mathematics in a very lucid way, and whatever is required for the examination point of view, they will going to cover all the things. Even if you have already prepared mathematics, I sincerely suggest that yes, there is a beautiful platform available to you to get revised and as well as to go through the unknown concepts also. Clear? Right, so please do utilize the services provided by this. And for 2024 students, of course, you can get 90% of scholarship test if you go, 90% of scholarship if you go for the scholarship test. Well, this is about myself. Already many students who are there in the comment section, they already know about me, and if any new student is there, you can find the credentials here all the way. Let's straight away get into the first question without wasting the time further. So look at the question number 1. Okay, as I said, especially in this particular session, don't judge the question, okay, because I know that you know already all the concepts. Here we are together to discuss the flavor of MSQ type, right? So just test the MSQ type. Sir, how did you remember that? My name is Raghuram, so I have seen your logo that. So the first question is, consider the signal flow graph of a system. Which of the following statement is true, is or correct? First thing you should understand, whenever you find this pattern like is or correct, okay, so naturally it could be a MSQ type question, okay, and even if you get 2 options out of 4 options, don't immediately run away and select only 2 options and go to the next question. You try to check third and fourth option. Sometimes what happens is you might not look at the third and fourth option. Maybe they might be right. So that is the problem. You spend 5 minutes of time and you have got 2 options out of 4 options correct, but the third option is also correct, but you are not able to select that. Then what will going to happen? Your time, whatever you have invested, that will completely lost, isn't it? Very good, Tharun Devanga, already, yes, very good. So this is a simple question, but look at the options how to select here. So the first thing is, how many forward paths are there here? So forward path 1, so if you take this as a node A and this is B, of course C, the forward path 1 all the way it is going ahead with the R, node A comma B comma C, and R, A and B, C. So this is a forward path, right? So one second. So this is a forward path, I could say, right? At the same time, there is another forward path going from the downward direction, right? So R, A, B, C, what is the forward path gain? 2. And second forward path also, to be honestly speaking, it is also going ahead with the same direction. So what would be the forward path gain again? So 1 into 2 into 1, so that is equal to 2, right? So what would be the correct answer here? Which one of the following statement is correct? There are only one forward path, right? There are 2 forward paths. So B option is straight away correct. And second, now you need to go for delta, right? So you all know the calculation of delta is very simple. In this particular case, the delta is equal to 1 minus sum of individual loops, right? So I think here we have only 2 loops. So I'm keeping simply like L1 plus L2. What would be the loop 1 here? So can you please tell me? Loop 1 would be how much here? So loop 1, if you see, this is the way how you can go 2 and then again you can come back like this. So 2 into minus 4, I could say this is 2 into minus 4. Obviously it will be equal to minus 8. That is loop 1. What about loop 2 here? Guys, first. Oh, very good. Nice. A lot of students have given correct answer. Now I would like to see Kaipa Sahiti, you have mentioned B is the correct answer. Very good. BCD, like. Excellent. Now the second loop, here you can see all the way the second loop is from here. So that means this start from here and then go here all the way and again come like this, and then this would be considered as a loop again, right? So the same gain it is having 2 into minus 4. I could say this is equal to minus 8. Now you can keep these two here. So delta is equal to 1 minus loop 1 and loop 2. So minus 8 and minus 8. All the way this will be equal to 17, correct? So delta is equal to 17 and forward pass we know, and we also know delta 1. What is delta 1? 1 minus number of individual loop gains, sum of individual loop gains which are not touching forward path 1. You don't have anything, so 0, 1, and delta 2 also similar to here. So 1 minus 0, this is equal to 1. I don't want to waste the time in discussing a very simple question for more time, but I want to show you the way how the questions can be asked, right? So now delta is known to you. Then what is the transfer function here? Now the transfer function could be written as P1 into delta 1 plus P2 into delta 2 divided by delta. So we have all the way everything here. P1 is known, delta 1 is known, P2 is known, delta 2 is known. So this, therefore it would be 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1, obviously divided by 17 here. So it is equal to 4 divided by 17. 4 divided by 17 is the answer. So if you go for this, option B and C and D, all 3 are correct out of 4 options, correct? Now what you understood here? Number 1 is, you have solved the entire question of signal flow graph, right? So that's why I'm saying that even if they ask only this question, it will take same time. If they ask, because when the question is about only C by R, inherently you will do all these things, right? So, but if this kind of question comes, it is a cakewalk to you, because in the process of finding C by R, then you will be finding everything. So I can rate this question as an easy question, but you have to solve completely, correct? It is an easy question. I myself is agreeing with the fact. Right? Now, when we are going slowly and deeply, steadily into the topic, we will also face so good questions. So wait for that time, right? Let's quickly get into the next question. Yeah, second question. Fast guys, I want to get the answer very immediately from your side. Everyone be fast. So the number of feedback loops FL and the number of forward pass FP are respectively R dash. Okay, I feel that this is also easy question. Now moving ahead, you require to know what are the loops and what are the forward pass here. So what would be the forward path? First of all, let us look at this one, R, and let me call this as A and B and C, D, and then this would be like, let us call this as E. Okay, right. So we have forward path 1. Where is the forward path 1? What are the nodes the forward path 1 will cover? Starting from R and then A and then B and then C, D and E. So let me write down here A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E. So this would be considered as a single forward path. And what would be the second forward path here? So if you go ahead and see, again R to A, but this time we can all the way shift to G3 side and come here, right? So there what will be there here? So I think R also there here. So here R, once again A, comma D is there, and then E. So now we are overlapping, sorry, we are covering this B and C. We are not covering B and C. Clear? So very good, very good, very good, very good. Forward path 2, right? So 2 forward paths are there. Wonderful. So most of the students, they get this question very correctly, forward path 2. That is correct answer. But you must also look at the second one, that is how much? Feedback loop, right? So how many feedback loops might be possible here? Just look at this one. Easy question this is also. So there is one loop that we can straight away get it here. So this is one loop, right? So loop 1 I am writing here L1, and loop 2, where is loop 2 here? It is also from my vicinity. I can easily find this as a second loop here, right? So definitely 2 loops are there, and additional to that, do you have another loop? So Tarun Devang is saying 4. Satyasri is also saying 4. Wonderful. Now let me see. A lot of students have given the answer as 3. Don't change it, okay? So don't change it, right? So FL is how much? Forward path 2. I understand that, yes, you are right. Forward paths are 2. Number of forward paths are 2. You are absolutely right. But loops are how many? 2 loops already I told you. A, B here. So this is one thing. So loop 1 is here and loop 2 here. Now have you seen that loop 3 here, which is very, very important, that start from here. This is loop 3, correct? So start from A and all the way travel via G3 and then come back here to D and then continue here and again come back here, come back here, come back here, come back here. It's a bigger loop, right? So you will come back to the loop 3 here. So therefore I could say that via this overall whatever you have covered so far, that is considered as loop 3. Loop 3. Lot of students have mentioned that only 3 loops are there, but there is one more loop which many of the students they miss here, is the 4th loop, which is actually nothing but this. Please see here. 4th loop is this. Start from here A, B, C, D and up to here, right? And then, okay, I'm extremely sorry. Yeah, we can continue and then all the way this one. This red color marking highlighted portion is also one loop, right? So that is loop 4. So what would be the correct answer? Right? So some students have marked wrongly and again they changed the answer. That's why I'm saying that you should not be overconfident, right? So feedback loops are 4. So what would be the final answer? Option C and D. Ashish Kumar, yes, you are right. And nice. Now everybody is giving correct answer. So don't be overconfident, because in a simple question like this, if you commit the mistake, then you will face, what you say, you really can't face yourself also, right? So well, C and D are the correct option. Next, now let me go to the next question. Now these kind of questions, whatever you are seeing on the screen, now most important fact about these questions is it covers the entire time response analysis, right? All time domain specifications are there. Now just look at the 4 options, then you will understand that because in a multiple MCQ questions, or else even in the fill in the blank question, you require to keep only one question, only one particular topic question may be asked, but here you have 4 right? All time domain specifications are there. That's where I told you that it will take a lot of time sometimes, right? So let's go with that. A unity feedback system has a open loop transfer function G of S is equal to K divided by S into S plus 10. If the damping ratio is 0.5, then the value of K is dash. So I think what would be best option is, let us not worry about the K. Let us look at what are the 4 options out of these 4 options which are correct, because this is a MSQ question, right? So let's directly see. See, I agree again that the solution of this question is easy, but you need to pick up all the things and you need to know how the questions will be asked. So all 4 you need to check now, right? So let's get into the topic directly. So G of S is very straightforward. It is given like K divided by S into S plus 10 here, undoubtedly, and invariably H of S is going to be equal to 1 because it's mentioned that unity feedback system. Then C of S by R of S, which is considered as a closed loop transfer function, could be written as G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. Fast, everyone take your calculators and do fatafat and tell me what are the suitable options for this particular question. It is a MSQ question. Once again I am saying that it's a MSQ question, right? Multiple select question. So C of S by R of S, now I can say, which is a closed loop transfer function, that is equal to K divided by S square plus 10 times of S plus K. Of course, this must be compared with the standard second order transfer function, S square plus, so omega n square plus S square plus 2 zeta omega n, and of course, I'm sorry, 2 zeta omega n s, and then plus omega n square, right? So now compare these two here. What would be omega n square? Omega n square is going to be k, and therefore I could say omega n is equal to root k, and this is one side of the story. And if we compare the denominator, 2 zeta omega n into s, so 2 zeta omega n into s, 2 zeta omega n, if you compare with the 10, already we know omega n is equal to how much? So 10 divided by 2 times of zeta is 0.5. It's given in the question. So the damping ratio is 0.5, right? What happened? Nobody has given the correct answer so far, right? Only one student has, oh, not even one student also, right? So make it fast, guys. Make it fast, every one of you, right? So moving ahead, I could say that this is equal to 10 divided by 2 into 0.51. So it is equal to 10. So omega n is equal to 10. Then what would be k value? So k is equal to omega n square, which is equal to 100. So k equals to 100 here. So after this much of elaborated explanation, what can I say is, there are two variables which are so important for us. One is the zeta value, which is equal to 0.5, and omega n value, which is equal to 10. Now calculate all four very fast, right? So Satyasri, I thought that you will give the answer very fast for this. So this is very known question to many students, right? Peak overshoot. What would be peak overshoot? First question. So first option, that is option A, e power minus zeta pi divided by under root of 1 minus zeta square. Make it fast, all of you, into 100. So this could be written as equals to e power minus zeta. What is the value of zeta? 0.5. So this is going to be minus 0.5 times of pi whole divided by under root of 1 minus 0.5 whole square into 100. I'm very sure it will come somewhere around 16.43% because I done many times this question, right? So 16.3. If I'm not wrong, the answer for this question is 16.3 approximately, right? So those students who know that, because percentage of peak overshoot straight away, it depends upon what? Zeta value. And when zeta value is 0.5, you will have 16.3%. You can directly remember this because peak overshoot ultimately depends only on 0.5. I mean zeta value, right? So the second option, let me go with the second option. What would be the second option? First one is correct. Second one is rise time. So rise time, what would be the value for rise time? Rise time expression would be pi divided by omega, one second, pi minus 5 divided by omega d. Am I right? So one second. Yeah. Now calculate fadafat here. So pi minus, now I'll tell you a simple story. Look at that. Rise time is given like 2.41 seconds. Now only I got this idea. Okay, please see how we can make it here, right? What happened? Venu Pampale, what happened to you? So I think you have given some message to me. Fine. So see here, rise time is given like 2.41 seconds. Peak time is given like 0.3160. So and settling time is 0.8 seconds. Then are you finding any ambiguity here? Either this could be correct and remaining two are wrong, or remaining two are correct and this may be wrong, because rise time cannot be more than peak time, correct? So in second order system, when you see, obviously the response starts like this and it goes like this and then settles like this, correct? So now settling time obviously will be more than rise time. Rise time might be somewhere here TR, but settling time somewhere here, that is going to be TS. So naturally the settling time must be more than the rise time, but according to the options it is not satisfying, right? So that is the way how you can think one step beyond the others and move ahead. So let me see what will be the way. So pi minus, and this is going to be cos inverse of zeta, that is 0.5 here, right, divided by, and omega d is nothing but omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So guys, please calculate fast and let me know what is the value of the rise time here. Pi minus pi by 3, cos inverse of 0.5 is pi by 3, 60 degrees, that is 180 by 3, so obviously 60 degrees, pi by 3. And omega n, just now we have calculated, that is 10 into 1 minus 0.5 whole square here, right? So this is going to be 2 pi by 3, and whatever the calculation we do have here, 10 into under root of this many times I have done, so it is 8.66 if I am not wrong. So please do fast and tell me what is the rise time. Rise time is 13.5. Kaipa has given rise time. Yes, Paish Kumar, correct, you are absolutely right. I appreciate you that rise time cannot be more than peak time as well as settling time, correct? That is a common sense you must have, right? So you should not leave common sense. When you are involved in doing the calculation, sometimes you will miss the common sense. That is the bad part and sad part, right? So divided by 8.66. So it will come somewhere around 0.241. I am getting 0.241. Guys, please check this one. So this is rise time. Now moving ahead to the next one, that is peak time. Of course, peak time is very known to us. If nothing is given, then obviously this is a pi by omega d only. So therefore I can say pi divided by omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. Of course, again this is simply like pi divided by 10 into under root of 1 minus 0.5 whole square. Fast guys. So what would be the answer here? So pi divided by 8.66. So it will come somewhere around 0.36 seconds. Right? So it is 0.36 seconds. That's what I told you, that the peak time will be more than the rise time, right? Well, fast. Final answer, TS. Now here one more point I would like to tell you. Whenever the question comes related to the settling time, if they have not mentioned anything in the question, by default it is going to be plus or minus 2% criteria. Clear? Plus or minus 2% criterion. So therefore I can say straight away 4 by zeta omega n. So if nothing is mentioned, it is default 2% criteria. If they mention like 5% criterion, then the formula will change. Okay? Yes. Oh, Kumari. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, very much sorry. Right? I'm extremely sorry. I think this is the second time you are saying to me. I'm sorry, very much sorry. So 4 by 5. So it will be equal to 0.8 seconds. Clear? So that's the whole point of the discussion. So what would be the correct answer for this question? So correct answer, if you go ahead, I could say that rise time is the wrong answer. A and C and D. So 3 options are correct here. Clear? So that's all about the third question. Right? Now what you understood in this question is not difficult, but you could solve this question instead of doing this much hard work, right? So because rise time can be easily negotiated, or else you can neglect this one and go with this, or else at least if you calculate this, you can immediately remove this one, correct? So likewise you can balance the time and use your common sense always. Clear? So ACD is the correct answer. Very good Rohit Pandey, very good to every one of you. Now let's go to the fourth question. Fourth question is also simple, I guess. Here it's very simple. My students, those who attended my classes in rank up program and in regular classes, those who watched recorded lectures in BEP app, these questions are nothing for them, right? Am I right or not? You can message me in the comment section how deeply we have discussed in regular sessions, and even some of the students, they have messaged me after the end of Control System. They love the subject in such a way that they want to pursue masters in that subject. Okay, so these questions are very simple. Even gate questions also will be very simple. Maybe 1 or 2 questions slightly it may be difficult. Rest of all questions will be very simple. Okay, right? Yes, correct. Now let's go to this question. The open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system is given like this. Yes, g of s is equal to this. It's very easy question. The position and velocity and acceleration error constants or error coefficients are dash. Very simple. So it's a straightforward question. So we all know that Kp could be written as equal to limit s tends to 0 and g of s into h of s. Now we have everything here. So let me write down fatapat here. Limit s tends to 0, g of s into h of s. So it will be k into, right, 1 plus 2s into 1 plus 4s. Let's straight away, I think you can substitute the value of s is equal to 0. We don't have any other option left here, right? So s square plus 2s plus 8. Substitute s is equal to 0. I'm sure it will become infinite, right? So yes. Right. Now second one, this is first one, and second one is going to be kv. So kv is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into g of s into h of s. These are very simple questions, but you must know how the MSQs will be there, right? So s into k divided by, once again, this is also going to be infinity, I think, 1 plus 4s. You don't need to solve this many things, because anyway it is a type 2 system. When we apply RAM, naturally this will be infinite only. Clear? And Ka, I think we need to go with only Ka. So Kp is infinite, that is correct. Kv is infinite, that is also correct. And Ka we require to calculate. What would be Ka here? So look at Ka. So Ka could be written as limit s tends to 0, s square into g of s into h of s. Correct? So if you go ahead, then it will be limit s tends to 0, s square g of s into h of s could be written as k into 1 plus 2s into 1 plus 4 times of s whole divided by s square into s square plus 2s plus 8. Very straightforward, right? So this will be out, and we will be having simply like k. So obviously option C is also correct answer, right? Chat se ho gaye. So yes, very simple question, right? You need not to do this much also. Actually, if you know the original concept, easily we can say this is what g of s, right? Do you require to do this calculation? As I am standing in the studio and I am explaining in YouTube session, as many students may watch in the later session, I am doing this. But if you are a sincere aspirant and serious aspirant, if you have really done very well in control system, you don't require to do these things. If you are my student, you should not keep a pen on the paper. Directly you should give the answer to this question. See how many students have given. Very good, Raghu. So let's go to the next question then. Right, next question. Yeah, this question I appreciate. Not so much, but it's a reasonably good question. A unity feedback control system has a forward path transfer function g of s is equal to this big, right? Very good. So I think, Raghu, we have solved this kind of questions, right? Raghu Ram, we have solved this kind of questions. G of s is equal to 10 into, let me write down here. G of s is equal to 10 into 1 plus 4 times of s whole divided by s square into 1 plus s. Very nice. This is, and straight away I can say this is a type 2 system. It's a type 2 system as we have 2 poles in the origin, right? So option A is straightforwardly correct answer. But the question strength looks here. Okay, so he is saying that R of t, the input signal is R of t is equal to 1 plus t plus 1 by 2 t square. Correct? Now when you are multiplying or when you are calculating the steady state error, first of all consider this as a unit step input. This is u of t. In fact, I would like to say it is always better to write the input like this. So please see here, all of you, don't neglect anything and don't be overconfident here. I know that my students can solve this very easily. R of t is equal to u of t. Let's multiply inside, plus t into u of t, that is the second one, plus 1 by 2 into t square into u of t. Clear? 1 by 2 into t square into u of t. Very good. Right? So now just look at this one clearly. Out of these 3 inputs, we can say clearly R1 of t, this is, and this as R2 of t, second input, and this is the third input, right? So 3 inputs are there. That means in a single input, I can write down this as a summation of the 3 different inputs. Okay, so we can write this as a summation of 3 different inputs. What happened? What happened, RR? Yeah, no problem, Tundas, no issue at all. Okay. K by 8, sir, in last question. Okay, what happened in K by 8? Oh, okay, guys, see, we have been trapped here, right? Thank you very much, Tarun Devang. He was continuously saying that, right? So please see. Oh, thank you very much, Tarun Devang, right? RRR. We have missed one beautiful point, right? Even I got trapped here. Thank you very much. See here, third one, when we find k here, what happens here? We substituted s square gets cancelled. Then when s is equal to 0, it will be equal to k by 8 here, correct? So then option B is wrong answer. Only option B and D are the correct answer for this question. Thank you very much to Tarun. Everyone in the comment section, you appreciate Tarun because every one of us got trapped here, right? So Tarun, you have done really very well. Good. Excellent. Love you. Now, next question. So, next question, the input can be split like this: R1 of t, R2 of t, R3 of t. Usually it should be Sacha, right? Sacha has to give the answer. I found really crazy that why Sacha and how Sacha got missed this question. Okay, right? Type 2 is the correct answer. Now, R1, R2, R3. Now, what we can do is, when you are finding the total steady state error, we can simply write like this: steady state error because of the first input plus steady state error because of the second input plus steady state error because of the third input. Like that we can write down, correct? Now look at that steady state error because of the first input. So imagine that R2 is not there and R3 is not there. We have only R1. When we have only R1, which is equal to unit step input, if you apply unit step input alone to type 2 system, what would be the steady state error? When we apply type 2 system, or when we apply step input to the type 2 system, what would be the steady state error? Simple, that is 0. And we know if you apply only ramp input to the type 2 system, again it will create a steady state error equal to 0. You must remember this, we are dealing with the linear time invariant system. As long as we have linear time invariant system, yes, we can sum up the steady state errors combining for each and every input acting at a time. That is called superposition principle. Clear? Yes, right. And the third one is, Again the steady state error here. Now look at the most beautiful point here. Steady state error for this parabolic input. So parabolic input usually we write like this, right? A by 2 t square. If you apply the parabolic input like this, then what would be the steady state error? We all know that. In fact, it is considered, one second, right? So I would be taking like this easily, right? So A into t square by 2. That would be the proper parabolic input, I guess, right? Maybe you also know that we will be taking like this many times. If it is so, then the steady state error would be written as A divided by Ka. Clear? A divided by K. What is that A here? That A here is actually nothing but 1 here. So straight away I can say this is equal to 1. But what about Ka here? So that is where actually the correct point is there. Ka could be written as limit s tends to 0 and s square into g of s into h of s here. Correct? So just give me 1 second time. I will be making it fast. So just substitute here. So now don't do any mistakes like what we have done in the previous question. So just do accurately and tell me what is the value of Ka fast, guys. So limit s tends to 0 and s square into this one, that is 10 into 1 plus 4s, of course, whole divided by s square into 1 plus s here. Correct? So this will be getting cancelled. Of course, you will be having Ka is equal to 10. Am I right or not? Please look at this. Ka is equal to 10. Very good, very good, very good. Excellent. Ka will be equal to 10. So acceleration error coefficient, straight away I can say yes, I am very confident about this. This is also 10. But what is the overall steady state error here? So overall steady state error could be written here as 0 plus 0 plus A by Ka. A by Ka. Right now we got, you only told and even I got that Ka is equal to 10. So when I substitute A by 10 and A is already we know that is equal to 10. So ESS is equal to 1 divided by 10. So now tell me what would be the correct answer here. So correct answer I would be saying, one second. Many students they might go on with the option B, but option B is wrong. Clear? Because it should be 10 inverse or it should be 0.1. Right? And type 1 system, this is wrong answer. So A and C are only correct answers. So though this question is technically related to the steady state error, the steady state error value is wrong in the options. Rest of all other options are correct. Clear? That's one fantastic thing about this question, right? AC, very good. Now let's go to the 6th question. This question is very good, guys. So those who are giving the answer to this question very fast, I can say you will get very good rank. Okay. So 6th question. The characteristic equation of a system is given by s square plus s power 5 minus 2s power 4. Oh my god, lot of lengthy expression is there. And there are 4 options are there. And from the characteristic equation, you must get the location of the poles. That is what is given me. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Phanindra. Thank you very much. Now from this characteristic equation, you must identify what is the location of the poles in S plane. That is the objective of the whole story. Correct? Now, guys, try for this one. 4 options are there and get that option. So obviously you need to go for Routh-Hurwitz criteria, right? So let me go with the Routh-Hurwitz criteria here itself, or else let me go to the next slide. S power 6 and S power 5 and S power 4 and S power 3 and S power 2 and S power 1 and S power 0. Correct? So now this is going to be your Routh table. So S power 1, 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2 and minus 7 and minus 4. Minus 2, minus 7, minus 4. 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2 and minus 7. And what about the last one? Last one is going to be minus 4. Excellent. Up to here this is easy, right? So how Kp is infinite? Did I done my mistake? Venu, 1 second. We have selected infinite in the previous case. Kp, we got 0, right? Oh. Yeah, here infinity only. Now, when you substitute s is equal to 0, here in the denominator s square is there. That's why I made it is infinite. What is wrong in this? Rampalle? Venu Rampalle, please look at this. Kp is infinite only. Now, Kp is equal to this. And when you substitute s is equal to 0, as we have s square in the denominator, obviously it will go to infinity. So, please confirm me Venu Rampalle, is it correct or not? Okay. So, now let's go to the next question. Yeah, we are here right now. And again, 1 is the coefficient here, and then minus 3 and minus 4. 1, minus 3, minus 4. Be careful when you are entering these values, even in the exam hall also. You will definitely commit the mistake if you are not being properly associated with this. 1, minus 3, minus 4. Now, yes, right. Now, go to the basic 2 rows are completed here. And third row, if you want to fill, look at carefully. 1 into minus 2 and minus of minus 3. That is going to be plus 1. And plus 1 divided by 1, this is 1. Okay. and again 1 into minus 7, that is minus 7, and minus of minus 4, that is plus 4, so minus 3 divided by 1, so this is also minus 3, and then 1 into minus 4, 0, and then by 1, so it will be minus 4, and this is equal to 0. How many of you got this one? I think most of you got this one, correct? Now we got two same rows. Then obviously when you calculate s power 3, if you fill the values here, it will come like 0, 0, 0, 0, and this is the place where do we get the all 0 row, and this is a good question, don't neglect this one. This is the all 0 row. Clear? So let me write down. First confirm me here. Yes, have you got this or not? All 0 row. Once you got all 0 row, then right immediately you need to go for auxiliary equation. Clear? So auxiliary equation, now let's fill this auxiliary equation. What is auxiliary equation? 1 into s power 4, that is s power 4 minus 3 times of s square. Look at like this, and then any other things are there? Yes, minus 4. That's all. This is auxiliary equation. Okay? S power 4 minus 3s square minus 4. This is considered as your all 0 row. Now still continue. Continue still. So auxiliary equation we got it here. So then differentiate the auxiliary equation. Then you will get like 4 times of s cube minus 6 times of s. Finished. Story is over. Then take the coefficient of s cube here and fill here. I don't want to explain the logic behind this because it is not the right time. Already we have done a lot of sections related to Routh-Harwich criteria. Now when I replace this one here, then you will be having 4 here and minus 6 here. Absolutely, this is 0. Next one is 0. Now continue still. So 4 into minus 3, that is minus 12, and plus 6. So minus 6 by 4, this is minus 1.5 if I am not wrong. Okay. So guys, please check your calculations. I even check my calculations also because I am doing very fast. 4 into 4, minus 16 minus 0, and divided by 4, this is minus 4, and then 0, 0 here. Clear? And last row here, which is very important, minus 1.5 into 6. How much it will be? 6, 9. So this is going to be 9 minus 8, right? So minus 16. Minus into minus plus 16. So 9 plus 16, I could say 25 here. 25 divided by minus 1.5. How much this will be here? Right? Vempalli sir, how it is type 2 system? Because there are 2 poles in g of s into h of s at origin. That's why it is considered as a type 2 systems here. I think Raghu have explained that. So please let me know, Venu, if you have still any problem, I am ready to answer to you. Okay, don't worry at any time. Okay, so minus and minus 4. So totally it is going to be 25. So let me write down 25 divided by 1.5 here. So this will be equal to minus 16.67. Guys, please look at this. All of you are following this or not? So this is minus 16.67, and then this is 0. Of course, this is all the way it is equal to 0. Last is for 0 coefficient. Everyone should do fast. Everyone should do fast. Only Sacha, it is Sacha who has given the answer very fast. All of you please be active in the comment section also. S power 0 coefficient is how much? That is straightforward, minus 4. Now the strength of this question lies in finding the actual requirement, not solving for this. Okay, as I said, even in my regular class also, first 4 to 5 questions it seems to be easy, and then the real questions will start, right? Now look at that. Out of all this, how many sign changes are there? You can find one sign change here. Yes, this is one sign change. Let me say first sign change. Here to here, no sign change, no sign change. All the way, how many sign changes are there? Number of sign changes equal to number of sign changes. Let me write down. Number of sign changes in first column equal to 1, right? So I can say this is equal to number of closed loop poles lies in right hand side of S plane, correct? RHS. So straight away I can say option B is correct answer, correct? Straight away option B is correct, but still you cannot judge that is the complete answer. That's where the strength of this question lies. Don't miss the question completely till the end, because we must find out what are the roots of the auxiliary equation to know whether really the poles are in imaginary axis or we do have any symmetrical poles. For that, let me take the auxiliary equation here. Fatafat. Auxiliary equation could be given as equal to s power 4 and minus, one second guys, sorry, minus 3s square and minus 4, right? So don't be over smart and neglect anything, and don't be overconfident also. You have to be confident but not overconfident. Okay, so this auxiliary equation should be equal to 0. So let me make it this equal to 0, and when I make it equal to 0, we require to find out what are the 4 poles we are having here, correct? So for that, what I do is, let me take s square is equal to p. If I take s square is equal to p, then auxiliary equation will become p square minus 3 into p and then minus 4 equal to 0. Then straight away I can say this as p square. What should I say? And this is minus plus 4, p square plus 4 into p square minus 1, right? So please look at this, all of you, p square minus 1. Am I right or not? So please check this one, guys. So this is equal to 0. So therefore I could say finally p square is equal to minus 4. So therefore I could say p square is equal to minus 4, and then, sorry, this is p into, I am extremely sorry, one second, I am extremely sorry, this is p plus 4 into p minus 1, right? So therefore p from here we can say minus 4, and p is actually nothing but s square, correct? P is actually nothing but s square. So s square is equal to minus 4. So what would be s here? P into p square and 4p, and sorry, I think we have made a small mistake here, right? Small mistake. This would be reverse actually. Okay, so I know you guys have done correctly. So let me make it till the end, right? So it is equal to plus 4 here, then s is equal to plus or minus 2, right? So that means there are two roots here. So let me take s1 is equal to plus 2 and s2 is equal to minus 2. This is one side. And here if you see, p plus 1 is equal to 0. So p is equal to minus 1. So s square is equal to minus 1. Then here it will become s is equal to plus or minus j. Correct? Plus or minus j. So there are two more roots here. S3 is equal to plus j and S4 is equal to minus j. How many of you really enjoyed this question? Please let me know in the comment section. No need to calculate. It's okay. I know it cannot be required to calculate, but still I just want to show you the answer till the end. Okay, so that everybody will understand. I am teacher, no, I am not writing the exam. So naturally I need to explain everything. So now if you see, there is one root which is there in the right hand side, and of course that is this one. This is on the right hand side of the S plane, correct? And if you look at, these are the two poles which are there on the j omega axis. They are on the j omega axis, correct? They are on the j omega axis because plus j and minus j. Now can you please tell me, for my benefit understanding, what are the poles you have calculated from auxiliary equation? One is at minus 2 and another one is at plus 2 here, and one is at j omega, j into 1, and the next one is minus j. So 4 poles are completed. Where there is a scope, because we have x power 6, correct? Totally 6 roots must be there. 6 roots must be there. Total number of roots are 6. But out of that you have completed 4. Then remaining 2, they must be there in the left half only. They cannot be on the imaginary axis. If they are on the imaginary axis, probably that can be calculated from auxiliary equation. But we are not getting that, right? So that means 2 roots are on imaginary axis. That is perfectly correct, right? This is correct. And number of roots which are there in the RHS, that is equal to 1. This is also correct. Then the remaining roots, they must be there in the left hand side of S plane. There is no other option. Out of 6, you can remove 3. 1, 2, 3. But total number of roots are 6. So out of 6, 3 are removed, means 3 has to be there in the left hand side. That is option A is correct answer. Clear? Option A is correct answer. This is good question. Reasonably, this is a good question. And you don't require to calculate that 3 roots which are there in the left half of S plane. Clear? You don't require to calculate that. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Yes. This is good question. Reasonably good question. Now let's go to the next question. And this is a standard question. Very standard question. Most of the times this kind of questions comes in the examination. I did find in many of the competitive examinations. The characteristic equation of a feedback control system is s power 4 plus 20 s cube plus 15 s square plus 2s plus k, and which of the following is correct? So is or, whenever you find this statement, immediately you can understand, yes, this is MSQ type question. Clear? So in GATE exam, they will give the question name itself as MSQ. So if it is given, very good, it is really appreciated. If it is not given, even then you need to find out that yes, it should be MSQ by looking at this is and are, right? So yes. Now let's go to the next one here. As I said, s power 4. First let me write down here itself s power 4 and s cube and s power 2 and s power 1 and s power 0. In the exam, they may give a lot of surprises to you. Sometimes they may mention, sometimes they may not mention some things, right? But we must mentally prepare for everything, right? So s power 4 quotient 1 here, and then because you cannot blame anyone after finishing your exam. You have to blame yourself if you commit mistakes. 20 and then it will be 2 here. So 1, 15 and k and then 20 and then 2. Of course this must be 0. So 20 into 15, that is 300 minus 2, that is 298 by 20. So what would be the value here? Yes, 298, right? So 298 divided by 20. So obviously this value would be 14.9 here. Such a simple one, this one. And 20k, this is going to be 20k minus 0 divided by 20. So this is simply k, right? So this is simply k, and then 14.9 into 2, 14.9 into 2, 28.8 I guess, right? So 29.8 minus 20k, 29.8 minus 20 times of k. Of course this is divided by 14.9. This is also simple. This is 0 and of course this is 0, 0, and we will be having k here. Once again, we will be having k. Tell me the shortcut for Routh-Harwich criteria. So whatever we are doing, that Routh-Harwich criteria itself, it is the shortcut, guys. Okay, it itself it is the shortcut. Then how do you find the shortcut once again in the shortcut, right? And moreover, it is not a complicated thing also, correct? So now you see this is a positive number. First column element 1 is positive, and again this is a positive, this is positive. And first of all, the system to be stable only if all the rows, all the elements in the first column, they are having the same sign. As we know, the first 3 elements are having the positive sign in the first column. K must also be positive, right? So and this number also should be positive. So what would be our question now? So now I can say confidently that 29.8 minus 20k divided by what will be there? 14.9. This should be a positive number. That means it should be a positive number. So 29.8 must be greater than 20k. Therefore I should say k must be less than 29.8 divided by 20 here. So therefore I could say k should be less than, what would be the value here, right? Itself is shortcut for finding the poles. Yes, yes. That's what I am saying, Ashish. That is what I am saying to Venu, that RH criteria itself, it is the shortcut. 1.49. So 1.49 is the answer. And moreover, we have seen that k must be, positive means k should be greater than 0 here. So obviously the range of k for the system stability is up to 1.49. Clear? So straight away we can say yes, yes, the system is unstable. First of all, look at that, the system is stable for k is equal to 1. Correct? Yes. K is between 0 to 1.49. Definitely the system is stable. So option A is correct. Closed loop system is stable. Here it should be mentioned as closed loop system is stable. Second is the system, look at the system is unstable for 1.25. Of course 1.25 is also falling in the same range. 1.25 is also falling in the same range where the closed loop system is stable. In this range the closed loop control system is stable. Closed loop control system is stable. So therefore I could not agree with the second option is wrong, because it was saying that, it is saying that k is equal to 1.25. For this value the closed loop system is unstable. It is absolutely false statement according to our range. Now the system is marginally stable for k is equal to 2. This is also wrong answer. Why? Because to get marginally stable system, our all zero rows should come here only, right? Here only there is a possibility to get all zero row. What would be the value of k where the closed loop system will become marginally stable? Closed loop system will become marginally stable if we get all zero row in the Routh-Harwich criteria. So where we will get all zero row? Obviously here only. Here you don't get all zero row. Here you don't get all zero row. Here you don't get all zero row. Only possibility is there at this point. Clear? So that means looking at this range we can say clearly, if the k value is between these, then the closed loop system is stable. Suppose if k is equal to 1.49, then the closed loop system, closed loop control system is marginally stable, and if you want to do the same calculations from the root locus also you can do that one. If k is greater than 1.49, then the closed loop control system is completely unstable. Clear? So closed loop control system is unstable. This is how we need to find out and figure it out the options. Still we have not completed, guys, so don't go out. Right? So still we have not completed. So this part is correct. Now you look at this one, third option, right? K is equal to 1.49. The system oscillates at omega is equal to 1 by root 2, 10 radian per second. System is oscillating at some frequency, means that's the marginally stable condition. Sustained oscillations are coming, means. But how do we check that one? So if you keep k is equal to 1.49, what do you will get? So 1.49, if you keep k, straight away you will going to get a value all zero row here. This is all zero row. and if you get algebra row, what is your auxiliary equation? This is your auxiliary equation. So let me construct the auxiliary equation from this auxiliary equation. So go back to the auxiliary equation. What would be the auxiliary equation here? Now relax, make it clear here. 14.9 into s square plus k, correct? 14.9 into s square plus k, and this must be equal to 0. Then only you will going to get a value of the poles which are there on the j omega axis. Make it fast. So then 14.9 times of s square plus 1.49, that is equal to 0. So s square is equal to minus 1.49 divided by 14.9. I could say it is minus 1 by 10 here, correct? So therefore from here we can say s is equal to plus or minus j into under root of 1 by 10. Clear? So radians per second. So obviously you can see this is the pole location. Invariably I can say this looks something like this, plus or minus j into omega, right? So compare these two, then you will understand. So that means the omega, whatever we are trying to find here, it can be compared like this. Then I can say, yes, the system is oscillating with the frequency of 1 by root 10 radian per second. So correct options are A, C. Clear? This is also a good question, but standard question, and most of the students, they know the procedure, but you need to have patience and find out, because usually what happens is if you refer the previous year questions, you will understand that most of the questions will be either asking for the range, whether the system, closed loop system is stable in this particular range or not. But trust me, the questions in MSQ may include everything. Stability range, unstable range, and even the marginal stable range. Clear? So that's why it is really very important. Answer is 1 by root 10. Right? Yes. Yes. Now let's go to the next question here. For a unity feedback system, forward path transfer function is g of s into h of s is equal to this. Then the correct options about the breakaway point and break-in point located respectively dash. Good question. Now I think you need to work out little bit here. So it's a root locus question. First of all, find out the characteristic equation. If you find the characteristic equation, 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. That is the first thing we can say. 1 plus here k into, right? So k into, first of all, try to get from here. Later we will decide what would be the correct answer. Okay. So k into s plus 6 divided by s plus 3 into, of course, s plus 5, that is equal to 0. So from here we can say k divided by s plus 6 divided by s plus 3, of course, into s plus 5, that is equal to minus 1. Very nice. Then we can still go ahead. So k equals to minus, what would be this one? So if you take this s plus 3 into s plus 5, it will be s square plus 8x, and of course I can say 3 into 5, that would be equal to 15 here. Clear? So 3 into 5, 15. So that's exactly what I need to get here, divided by s plus 6. Is it completed now? See, now you cannot directly get from the answers, right? Chinmay Rai, look at whether option A and C, how you can say directly here, because there is a possibility that B and C may be the correct answers, because almost they are near to each other. You need to calculate very accurately, okay? So maybe if you calculate it, that would be very good. So dk by ds. So let me write down. So for breakaway point, we need to calculate dk by ds is equal to 0, correct? So let's put that and calculate fast here. So dk by ds is equal to 0. So that means differentiate this and equate it to 0, s plus 6 whole square first of all, and then, right? So s plus 6, again I am saying that don't be overconfident, and if you take the dk by ds for this 2s plus 8 here, 2s plus 8, a simple calculation mistake may cost you 1 year of hard work. So please be not overconfident. Okay, s square plus 8s and plus 15 here, correct? Into what would be there? S plus 6 here, right? So s plus 6. Guys, please do this fast and let me know what are the two roots you are going to get out of this one. Okay, so make it fast here, every one of you. So yes, s square plus 8 and then s square plus 8, 2s plus 8, and this is correct, and this is also correct. Perfectly all right. Now let me move ahead. So s into s, 2s square here, and then plus 8 into s plus 12 into s. So 20 into s, that is, and then 6 8s are 48 here. So let me write down here, and then plus, again if you go ahead, s cube, I can say 6s square plus 8s square here, 8s square, and 48s 48s plus 15s, and then 6 into 15, that is equal to 60, and 6 5s are 30, so it is going to be 90 here if I am not wrong. So of course this must be equal to 0, right? So this must be equal to 0. Still get continue here, minus 2s square, but minus 20 times of s, and minus 48 plus s cube, and then plus 6 and 8, 14s square, and then 48, so 50, and this is going to be 63 times of s plus 90 equal to 0. Okay, again I am saying that don't neglect anything, don't be overconfident, so be with your basics, and plus 12 times of s square, and then 43 times of s here, 43 times of s, and plus 42. Please look at whether my calculation is correct or not. 63 minus 20, that is 43. Fine, that is equal to 0. So we have, I think, s cube, s square, s power 1 and s power 0, that is equal to 0. So are you getting the same thing here? Yes, yeah, oh, okay. So yes, dk by ds, where there is a mistake here. So please let me know, did I done any calculation mistake? Once again, let me say dk by ds is equal to 0. Yes, s plus 6 whole square. Yeah, Ashok. S plus 6. Where does it went wrong? Yeah, minus 1. Yes, s plus 3, s plus 3, s plus 6. All the way it's correct only, na? Up to here, is it correct? Yes, differentiation mistake. So dk by ds is equal to 0. So s plus 6 whole square, and then s plus 6 whole square. Up to here it is correct. Is it correct? Please let me know. Every one of you, be there in the comment section and let me know. Is it correct up to here? And then here, breakaway point minus 4 point such as 3, wonderful, minus 7.76, right? Please let me know such as 3 in this differentiation. So yes, we have taken dk by ds is equal to 0, and s plus 6 is there, s plus 6 into differentiation of this, 2s plus 8. So this is correct, perfectly this is correct, right? Perfectly this is correct. And then minus of this into this, right? Differentiation of this, this into differentiation of this. Okay, guys, understood. So got it. Thank you very much. You might have informed earlier itself, no? Right. I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much. I made the mistake. I sincerely apologize for that one, right? I sincerely apologize. That's what will happen, right? So every one of us are human being, it happens, right? So but the concept is very important. At the same time, you must be very accurate also. I sincerely thank to the students who are mentioning in the comment section. And going ahead, what you will going to get here, s square, 2s square, and then so 8s plus 12s, so 20 times of s plus 48, of course, right? And then s square plus 8s plus 15. Thank you very much, Ashok. You are the first person who raised the hand. Thank you very much. And please continue. If you already know the way, then do it and make it fast. No need to wait for me, right? So it is minus 2s square. So let me write down. It is better to write everything safely. Minus 48, and then plus s square plus 8s and plus 15. That must be equal to 0. And going ahead, we can say minus s square and minus 20 and minus 8. So it is minus 12s, of course, minus 48 plus 30, 15. So it is going to be 35, right? So 33. So obviously this is going to be minus 33, right? 33 plus 15, so it is equal to 48. So this is equal to 0. And finally, if you solve this s square plus 12s plus 33 equal to 0, is it correct? Look at this, every one of you. Yes. Naturally it happens, right, Ashok Kumar, right? Finally, we both are reached into a situation that yes, we have to agree and cooperate with each other, right? So this is 1 and then 12 and then 33. Yes, I am getting the first option as minus 4.23 and minus 4.27 approximately. And then second point is minus 7.73. It's Sachasri who has given the answer very fast, and Krishnaveni, yes, you are right. Ashok, you are also right. And many students have given the answer. Appreciate from the bottom of the heart. Now you need to look at which are breakaway and which are break-in points out of it, right? So look at the root locus plot here. J omega plot, plot this is. Now going ahead, I would be saying that so the first one is 0. Where is the 0? Minus 6. So 0 is here. And then where are the poles? 3 and minus 5. So 3 might be here. So 3 might be here. And minus 5 might be here. Correct. Minus 5 might be here. So relax. So you all know very well that root locus lies exactly here only, right? So if you find by using the odd man out, So you know already that the root locus segment is this and the root locus segment is this, correct? Root locus segment is this. Whenever the root locus lies between two successive poles on real axis, there exists a breakaway point, correct? So that means confidently I can say, yes, this is the way how the root locus plot might be there. This will come here, this will come here, both they meet together, and obviously one side it will come here. So this is the only possibility. Those who have done root locus classes, in my classes, they might be knowing it will go away and it will go away here, correct? So that means obviously the breakaway point must be there between -3 and -5 here. This is the breakaway point location, and here you must have break-in point location. So that means I can confidently say that yes, this is the breakaway point now, and this must be break-in point here. Clear? So this is break-in point. Good, very good, nice, nice. Yes, yes, yes. Kaipa, correct. You can do that. Breakaway point and break-in point both are correct here. So breakaway point is -4.27 and break-in point is -7.73 here, right? So actually minus should be there here and minus should be there. Option A and D both are correct answers, right? So now let me move on to the next question here. Minus should be there, they missed that one, fine, no problem. And this is a good question. Let me see how many of you can solve this question. I'm expecting answer from every one of you, so be accurate, okay? If you commit the mistake, let us again try to do from our side and get it corrected. A unity feedback system has a open loop transfer function. Of course, it is g of s into h of s equals to k into s plus 1 divided by s into s minus 1. I say this is a good question, okay? Don't be hurry, take time and make it fast. Clear? So everyone, correct Rohit? Answer AD for previous question, that is correct. Congratulations. Now next question, let me go ahead with this. Root locus for the system is a circle. Wonderful, they agreed that it is a circle. Then the correct options are dash. So now when you see, first of all try to plot, rough sketch at least. Rough sketch of root locus, right? Rough sketch of root locus. I am taking like this. And what are the poles here? So the first pole is 0 and 1. So there is one pole here 0 and one pole here at 1 plus 1. And there is one 0 at -1. So let me take it -1. There is a location of 0 here, right? So yes, there is a location of 0. Now we all know from the conventional root locus plot, every one of us knows that root locus will be definitely lying here. So this segment covered by the root locus, and also we know that the root locus will be there here till the -infinity here, correct? So I feel that by this point of time you all know how to find the root locus segment on the real axis, okay? So by assuming that you already know this, then if you go ahead, so the root locus will start from open loop pole like this, and this will also start like this, and maybe they can meet like this at this point, and then they will come out of it, and break-in point might be there here, like what we have discussed in the previous question, because this is the only possibility for this. And also he told that this is looking like a circle. Root locus plot is looking like a circle. That was also mentioned in the question, correct? So therefore, I would be saying that this is a breakaway point undoubtedly, and this must be a break-in point, correct? So breakaway point and break-in point, and he himself agreed that it is a circle. Then what else I can draw better than this one, correct? This is the best choice. That means now you must know breakaway point and break-in point to move further. So how do we do that? So again find characteristic equation here. So 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. So from here we can say, right, 1 plus k into s plus 1, denominator I am writing directly. So s square minus s, correct? S square minus s, that is equal to 0. And therefore if you go ahead, still k into s plus 1 divided by s square minus s, that is equal to -1, and moving ahead k equals to minus s square minus s divided by s plus 1. Now relax, make it dk by ds is equal to 0, then you will going to get the breakaway and break-in point. So therefore I am writing this time, I don't do the mistake, so let me do accurately. S plus 1 first of all, and this is going to be -2 times of s, and again minus 2s minus 1 here, right? So I can say, otherwise let me take minus outside so that you will not have any confusion here. So minus can be taken outside, so you will be having 2s, of course minus 1 here, that's perfectly alright, and then plus s square minus s into 1 here, correct? into 1. So that must be equal to 0. Can anybody do fast and tell me what are the breakaway points here? Breakaway point and break-in point. Everyone make it fast. So minus s plus 1, okay, into 2s minus 1. What about Raghuram? What are the breakaway point and break-in point? Ashok also, right? Plus s square minus s. Ashok and Tarun, and please let me know s square minus s, and this is perfectly all right. So that is equal to 0, correct? That is equal to 0. Moving ahead, I can say still that is 2s square. Once again, oh sorry, yes, minus you can take outside, and this will become, one second, right? Minus, I would be, what happened this one, right? So here there is a problem with this, right? Yes. So here you will be having like 2 times of s square here, 2 times of s square. What happened to this one? Right? Anyone got this one? Yes, 0.43 and 2.43. So let me take it here. If you equate this to 0, then you will going to get 2 poles here. So s1 is equal to obviously 0.43, 0.43, and s2 is equal to, I am very sure, the next one it will come like 2.43, right? 2.43. So minus 2.43. Please look at your calculations. You will get positive 0.43 and minus 2.43. Yes. Kartik Iyer, please look at that, your solution. Sachasri, yes, very good. So here you have the value, first of all 0.43, and here you will be having 2.43. Such a wonderful question it is, really, isn't it? So now every one of us can easily understand that. So from here to here, obviously from here to here, total diameter from here to here is how much? 2.43 to 0.43. How much that is going to be? 2.43 to 0.43. I could say here 0.43 is there, right? Is it correct, this value, sir? B and D, 2.42, right? Now what would be the diameter? Can you calculate what would be the diameter here first of all? Diameter is how much? Diameter, let me write down. I think there is some problem technically with this, this side, I think. So let me use this side of the board. So diameter is equal to how much? Anyone, can you please let me know? Any one of you, what would be the diameter? Radius is 2. Okay. So I'm just asking what would be the diameter. Diameter is 2. Is it correct? So look at that. Look at diameter is 2. Diameter is 2. Tarun is saying 3. Right? Diameter is 2. Sekti, okay, 3. Right? How some people are saying 2, some people are saying 3. I'm waiting for right. Just asking whether this breakaway point and break-in point, both of these two are correct or not. First tell me up to here whether these two are correct or not. Right? Whether these two are correct or not. From here to these two are correct or not. So if these two are correct, right, it means that from 0 up to minus 2.43, this is the length, and from this side 0.43 is the length, right? Yes. If these two are correct, then what would be the total diameter from here to here? Because this length is 2.43 and this length is 0.43, right? So because your circle is all the way started from here to here, am I right? Then what would be the diameter? Tell me accurately. I will give some time, no problem. Don't do the mistake and let me know answer for this question. Every one of you. Satyasri, where are you? Shakti, diameter again 2. What you are doing is here you got minus 2.43. Yes. Shakti, now you got the answer, right? Why you are throwing the answer just like that? So you got minus 2.53 here and 0.43, and you are adding this and you are getting 2. That you are saying radius is equal to 1, diameter is equal to 2. How is it? That is from here to here the length is how much? 2.43 unit. From here to here what is the length? That is 0.43 unit. So if I want the distance from here to here, this distance plus this distance, right? So it is equal to 2.43 plus 0.43. Am I right? This is the correct answer, right? So it is equal to 2.83. Wonderful, right? 2.86. Diameter is 2.86, right? Yes, Ashok. I am not from Hyderabad. I am from Bangalore. Okay. But I am from Telugu region. Okay. So radius is equal to diameter by 2, right? So 2.86 divided by 2. How much this will be equal to, right? So yes, 2.86 by, I am really disappointed, guys, right? So you are in very hurry, but you are doing a simple mistakes, right? So 1.43 somewhere that like equal to, that is the answer. Yes, 1.43 or 34 again. 2.86 divided by this 1.43. Please check, Monisha. See how many of you have committed the mistake. Almost everyone has done the mistake, right? Everyone done the mistake. Only few students have made correctly. Yes, right? Correct. So that's what it happens, right? 1.43. Please don't do these mistakes, right? You have added this minus 2.43 with 0.43 and you got minus 2. And you are thinking like length is 2 from here to here and the diameter is 2, radius is equal to 1. That is what most of the students you have done. And unfortunately that may be there in the option, then you will struggle a lot. What would be the correct answer here now? Radius is how much? What is the radius now? Radius of the circle, yes. Radius is root 2. That is almost equal to our answer also, correct? So that is what the answer we got, right? Where is that went? So I think that went somewhere, okay? So radius is equal to root 2. And the center, naturally what would be the center of this one? So look at that. What would be the center now? So here we have this value as minus 0.43 and this value as equal to minus 2.43. What would be the center now? Center, can you guys get what would be the center? Center of the circle is where? So if this is the radius, 0.43, between these 2 points you must have, right? I think there is some issue here. So I don't know what exactly here issue. 0.43 and this is minus 2.43. What happened to this? I don't know. Maybe there is the issue with this slide. So 1.4 to this side and this side 1.43. Now if you see from here to here the length is 1.43 units and from here to here the length must be 1.43 unit, right? So minus 1 to minus 2.43, length is 1.43 unit. That means minus 1 is the center exactly, correct? So yeah, restart the board. Yeah, I understand. But if I restart, I don't know how it will go. So the center will be equal to minus 1 comma 0. Let us see one or two other questions and then we will decide what to do. Okay, fine. Anyway, the answer for this question is going to be center for circle is equal to minus 1 0. The radius is root 2. How many of you like this question? If you really like this question, please mention in the comment section. I really enjoyed because most of you have committed the mistake. Okay, so yes, this is a good question. Now let's go to the next question, that is 10th question. Consider the following statements with respect to the root locus of the characteristic equation of unity feedback system whose open loop transfer function is this. Yeah, I think now board is working fine. That's a really good question. What we have solved previously, as I already promised at the beginning of the class, we will be seeing good questions also. Yes, we have done really a good question. Now this is also a good question, I would say. So G of S, first of all, let me show you. G of S is equal to K divided by S into, right, S into S plus 6, yes, of course this will be like S square plus 6S plus 45, yes. This is your transfer function and I would like to say this kind of question, whatever I am showing now, this question, it is a very supreme question, okay, supreme question in the sense, you can see it is one of the hallmark question in the root locus. I will show you why it is, okay. So first of all, let me take another slide here to show the root locus. So guys, please see very carefully, right? So I'm right. So what are the poles? Poles S1 is equal to 0, pole 1, and pole 2 is equal to minus 6. And can anybody say what are the third pole and fourth pole here? So just equate it to 0 and tell me what are the poles that we are going to have here. Every one of you, please. Lengthy question. Yeah, it happens sometimes. This is also a little bit lengthy, but good question. We should appreciate these questions, right? So every time we cannot expect only easy questions, right? So 45, if we equate properly, it is minus 3 plus 6j or j6 and it is minus 3 minus j6. These are actually symmetrical roots. I will show you one of the most beautiful theory behind this. So please be with me till the end. So first of all, keep your poles location here. Every one of you keep poles. So there is a pole here S0 and there is a pole here at minus 6. That is also fine. And there are two more poles, minus 3 plus j6. Minus 3 might be there here and j6 let me say here. So there is a pole here and there is a pole here and this pole, it is minus 3 plus j6 and I am very sure this is going to be minus 3 minus j6. So let me say this is therefore minus 3 and here we do have j6 here and here we will be having minus j6. Clear? I have kept all four poles here. So let me name this as a pole 1 here and let me name this as a pole 2 here for time being and let me take this as a pole 3 here. This is the pole 3 and let me take this as a fourth pole here. Clear? Fourth pole. Now, first of all, look at all the options so that we can actually measure. It has an angle of departure 90. That we'll see later. There are 4 root locus branches. Yes. Why? Because number of poles here, if you see, number of poles equal to 4, number of zeros equal to 0, number of zeros, finite zeros are, there are no finite zeros here. No finite zeros, so number of finite zeros equal to 0. Usually there are number of root locus branches equal to number of open loop poles. Number of root locus branches is equal to number of open loop poles. Right? So already it is done, na? Kabam kosam, did we miss anything? I think I have covered the frequency response plots in the previous sessions. Okay. Technically it was not mentioned as PYQ, but we have done it. If you want, we will take one more time, no problem. There are 4 root locus branches. Clear? So because number of root locus branches is equal to number of poles. So that is done very happily. And each root locus starts at open loop pole and at infinity because there are no finite zeros. Fine, that is also correct. Right? Because whenever root locus branch it starts from the open loop pole and it ends at the open loop finite zeros. In case if it is not finding any open loop zero, then it will go for infinity. Correct? Plus or minus infinity. Clear? Yes. I am going to take even in the paid batch also, Ananya. It has one real and one pair of complex breakpoint. This is exactly I would like to tell you. And anyway, we have to do this also, right? So my suggestion is those students who want to find out the root locus of this. First of all, tell me in this segment, do you have root locus? Yes. Because right side to this segment, we have only one pole, which is odd number. So this segment is there on the root locus. And this is also there on the root locus here. Now, you try to find out the break points for this or breakaway point for this. You will understand this as a first breakaway point. This will come as a first breakaway point. This is the first breakaway point. So that means I am very sure that this root locus branch all the way it will come here. And this will also come like this. And the great thing is they both meet together at this point. You may ask a question to me, sir, how do you know this one? Okay. The idea is because I have done several questions like this. Whenever the length from this pole to this and whenever the length from this pole to this and also from this length to this length, if it is same, then the middle point will be going to become the breakaway point. If you want, you can find out. First of all, find k is equal to f of s like what we have done in the previous 2 questions. Previous 2 questions are similar to this. Just to calculate dk by ds is equal to 0. Then you will understand that yes, breakaway point is equal to at -3. If you want, you can do this one, right? So can you name your, can you please name that video, sir? Yeah, I will tell you. Just go back and see the questions on frequency response plots. You will find that, guys, right? Now, once it is finding at -3, then obviously the root locus branch, they will going to be away from this, right? So away from this, this is the way how they will go, right? So now the crazy part is once they started to departure like this. Now look at, this is the third pole we are having, fourth pole we are having here, correct? So these are complex poles. Naturally, they will get departure, right? So root locus branch, it gets departure from here. So let us see. This one, it has to depart from here. But at what angle it will get departure? Correct? That is what it is called as an angle of departure. How do we get angle of departure here? So I think many of you might be knowing that angle of departure can be found as 180 degrees minus sum of the angles contributed by the poles minus sum of the angles contributed by the zeros. Now, let me go ahead. 180 degrees minus, we have 4 poles here. So the angle contributed by the first pole, let me write down. Pole 1, angle contributed by the second pole, and angle contributed by the third pole, and angle contributed by the fourth pole at the required pole. There are no zeros here, so this value straight away it is equal to 0. Clear? And sigma phi p is all the way this one, right? So now angle contributed by the pole 1, where you are finding angle of departure at pole 3. So how do we get the angle? Now just simply draw a line from here to here. Clear? Draw a line from here to here. So what would be this angle? But whatever this angle is, now just apply your common sense. This is where you should apply your common sense. One more you will write from here to here, correct? So the great thing is this, whatever you are having here, that is angle P1, and whatever we do have here, that would be considered as angle P2 here, correct? Angle P2 here. Now, are you seeing any symmetry here? Are you seeing whatever the value you have calculated here, more or less that will be equal to 180 of this one. Am I right? And at the same time, the angle contributed by this from here to here. Look at this crazy question here. So draw a line from here to here first of all, right? And with respect to horizontal line, what would be this angle here? So this angle straight away I can say this is equal to 90 degrees here. Clear? This is equal to 90 degrees. Now I have a question to every one of you. Please tell me what you will going to get here. So this is 180 degrees here and minus. So this plus this and plus this. Angle P1 and sorry, one second. So angle P1 and angle P2. Angle P1 and angle P2. I'm very sorry. Here there is a small mistake. Yeah. Angle P1 and angle P2 sum together. P1 plus P2. I'm very sure it will going to be equal to 180 degrees. If you want, you can check that one. You can check that one. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So just apply your common sense. This angle and this angle put together, it will be 180 degrees. That's what I have written. And this angle P4 to P3, that is 90 degrees. Very good. So P4 to P3, this is going to be 90 degrees. That is also fine, right? And this angle, how much this will be? Any one of you. So P3 means the angle contributed by that pole at that pole itself. That pole, P3 pole at P3 itself. So there is no angle because it's a simple point. At that point, it will be 0. So therefore, it is 0 here. So this is that's all. Now all put together, the angle of departure, if you see, you will find that this is minus 90 degrees. Clear? So that means I can say confidently that here at this location, the root locus branch will going to come with an angle of departure of minus 90 degrees here. Clear? So this is minus 90 degrees. Correct? So I can say this itself, it is minus 90 degrees. And here it will be plus. So I am very sure here you will be having angle of departure which is equal to 90 degrees. Now confidently we can say this root locus branch, it will come down like this. It will all the way come down like this and it will go. After breakaway point, this will come like this, right? And then both meet together at this point. For sure they will meet. And here also the same thing will happen. After breakaway point, one of the root locus branch will come in the downward direction and this will go in the upward direction. They will meet at this point. Clear? They will meet at this point. After meeting at this point, then they will going to make the root locus plot like this. I'm extremely sorry. Yeah, right, one second. You will going to get like this. Clear? And here also you will going to get like this. Right? So this is really a good question. Can you give me some formula for angle of departure and angle of arrival formula, sir? Yes, I have given that now. So this is the angle of departure formula. This is the angle of departure. And angle of arrival is simple. From here, angle of arrival could be very simple. That 180 degrees plus sigma angle contributed by the poles minus angle contributed by the zeros. So simple, I think, because these are very famous. So finally, this is what we are getting. So angle of departure, naturally I should say, it has the angle of departure 90 degrees. This is correct answer. It has one real pole and one pair of complex breakpoints. This is the point I would like to mention. I think for most of the students, first time they are reading the word like complex breakpoints. Clear? Complex breakpoints. This is one of the fantastic question. I told you, na, naturally my class will be difficult once we are going deeply into the topic. Okay. So this is one breakaway point, I said, and this is another breakaway point, this 2. If you see, this is BAP 2 only, and this is the complex conjugate of BAP 2 only, breakaway point. So that means here at one location breakaway occurred, and here also we got breakaway point. So this means I would be saying very clearly that breakaway point doesn't mean that it will always come only on the real axis. Breakaway point even can come in the complex plane also. Likewise here we got even the breakaway points here also, here and here. Apart from real axis, we got in the complex plane also breakaway point. Maja aa gaya? So how many of you really enjoyed this question? I really enjoyed. Once again, I enjoyed a lot. How many of you enjoyed this question? It is almost 1 hour 15 minutes, but still we are so active. Let's continue the same rhythm, right? So next question. The open loop transfer function of a unity negative feedback control system is given by this. Very good. Then the correct option is going to be dash. Okay. So gain margin and phase margin question this is, right? Yes, yes. So the conclusion of the story here is breakaway point doesn't mean that it will really have only on real axis. It may be there on the complex plane also. That is the point you need to keep in the mind always. Okay. So moving ahead, we have g of s here. Well, let me write down g of s first of all. G of S is equal to 32 divided by S into S plus root 6 whole cube, correct? Now, relax. You require to find gain margin and phase margin. If you want gain margin or phase margin, first of all, if you want the, let me take for phase margin, okay? So if you want phase, first of all, replace S is equal to j omega here. Anyway, because we need to solve the complete question, let me replace that. S is equal to j omega, fatafat here. G of j omega, h of j omega is 1, so I am not worried about that. 32 divided by omega and under root of omega square plus 6 whole power 3. This is what you will going to get as a magnitude, correct? Yes, yes, yes. D is also correct, na sir? Yes, Tarun, correct. In the last question, even D option is also correct. A, B, C, D, all four are correct in the last option, right? So Janani, thank you very much. This is G of j omega, and phase, if you see, phase of the function, phase of G of j omega would be equal to, this is considered as a magnitude definitely, and this would be considered as a phase. How do we write the phase? Phase is minus 90 degrees and minus tan inverse of 3 times it is there, right? So therefore it should be written as 3 tan inverse of omega by root 6 here. Excellent, right? Omega by root 6. Now relax. First of all, try to aim for the phase margin. How do we get the phase margin? If you really want to get a phase margin if you want to get, you need to find gain crossover frequency, correct? So how do you get gain for crossover frequency? Modulus of G omega PC magnitude, if you see, that should be equal to 1. So here we have 32 and here I think omega PC is there, and then, right? So here, one second, what we have, yes, omega PC square, I should say, plus 6, right? Under root of this whole cube, that must be equal to 1. Can anybody look at this and tell me? I have solved many times. Actually, you can substitute omega PC is equal to root 2. That will solve your purpose. I think some of the students have made this one, right? So, Tundas, what happened in the previous slide? So, please see here. Please check this question. Tundas. Yes. And take the snapshot of that. Why I mentioned BAP2 and BAP2? Because these two together it is called as a one set of complex conjugate poles. Clear? So, now here omega PC is equal to root 2 radian per second. Just substitute root 2 here, then you will get all the way this is equal to 1, right? Now once you get omega PC, oh sorry, this is omega GC, I am sorry, I am extremely sorry, this is omega GC, because we are trying to find the magnitude should be equal to 1, right? So I am sorry, omega GC and omega GC, and this is equal to omega GC, that is equal to root 2 radian per second. Now phi GC, calculate phi GC. Phi GC is nothing but the phase at omega GC. So what would be the phase at omega GC? That is equal to minus 90 degrees, very nice, minus tan inverse of 3 times into omega PC. So that is root 2 by root 6 here, correct? Root 2 by root 6. So make it fast and tell me what would be the answer here. Minus 90 degrees and minus 3 times of tan inverse of, what will be this value? Root 2, 1 by 3, right? 1 by root 3 here. Fast, every one of you. So what you will going to get? Minus 90 degrees minus 3, it is going to be 1 by 2. So I think 30 degrees here, 30 degrees here, and then you will going to get phase phi GC is equal to minus 180 degrees here, correct? Phi GC is equal to, sir, why root 2? Ashok, simple. See, as I have solved, I have kept it. If you want, you can do the complete calculation and see. Otherwise, substitute root 2 here. It will become root 2 here. Root 2 square is how much? Root 2 square is 2. 2 plus 6, 8. Root 2 whole power 3. And then we have here root 2. So just when you multiply these two, you will get 32 in the denominator. 32 by 32 is equal to 1. Correct? So I have done this. So I made it really. Otherwise, you have to multiply here and get that one. Clear? So minus 180 degrees. And therefore, what would be the phase margin here? After this much of calculation, finally you need to get phase margin. Phase margin is equal to 180 degrees plus phi GC. So what would be that value? 180 degrees I can say plus phi GC. Plus phi GC minus 180 degrees, right? So let me write down here. So phi GC is minus 180 degrees. Then you will understand you are really at a very difficult situation. 180 minus 180 means it is equal to 0. So phase margin is equal to 0 degree. Option B is the right answer. Ashok, have you got the answer for your question? Ashok, have you got the answer for your question? Then you require to know gain margin, right? So let me go for the gain margin then. Gain margin, yes. If you want gain margin, first of all, you require to know omega PC. How do we get omega PC? the phase at what frequency? The phase is equal to minus 180 degrees, right? So minus 90 degrees minus 3 times of tan inverse of omega GC, omega PC I should say, divided by root 6, that must be equal to minus 180 degrees, right? So what would be omega PC then? It's very simple. Previously, have you remembered, when I substituted the value of omega as root 2, I got minus 180 degrees, correct? Minus 180 degrees. So therefore, when omega PC is equal to root 2, then you will going to get this equation to be satisfied. If you want, you can check that one. So omega PC is equal to root 2 radian per second. Wonderful, right? Omega PC is equal to root 2 radian per second, right? Now, you need not to go for full calculation here. What is the best thing? Omega GC is root 2 radian per second and omega PC is root 2 radian per second. Do you have any idea about this one now? Omega GC and omega PC both are same. When omega GC and omega PC both are same, what can be done? If both of these two are same, yes, then gain margin is 0 dB and phase margin is equal to 0 degree and the system is equal to, so it is not natural frequency. Chinmay Rai, it is not omega n, this is omega PC. Okay, so phase margin is equal to 0 and gain margin is equal to 0 dB. And those students who have confused here, it's very simple. When I substituted root 2, I calculated the phase, it came minus 180 degrees. Now when you are trying for omega PC, you are keeping omega PC and equating to minus 180 degrees. That means if you calculate by using any of the formula, then again omega PC will come as root 2 only, correct? Root 2 only. Therefore, I can say omega GC is equal to omega PC and the closed loop system is marginally stable. Clear? This is wonderful concept again. Closed loop control system is marginally stable. So let me write down here. This is marginally stable. So if it is marginally stable, then the gain margin and phase margin both will be equal to 0. Good question. Now let's move on to the next question here. Next question, slightly good question, but it is a Bode plot question. Let me see how many of you will answer this one. So see, the open loop Bode plot of a third order. So third order, good. Third order unity feedback system exhibits initial slope of minus 20 dB per decay passing through 14 dB at omega is equal to 1 radian per second and simple corner frequencies at 1 and 4 radian per second. First of all, try to sketch the rough sketch, right? So let me make it clearly. This is omega on log omega axis and started initial slope of minus 20 and corner frequencies are 1 and 4. So let me take 1 here and let me take 4 here somewhere here. Okay, 1 and 4 radian per second. Fine, omega is in radian per second obviously. Omega would be radian per radian in radian per second. And now relax, try to look at the question. Don't judge the question by looking at just like that. So initial slope is minus 20. So initial slope it has means maybe it may start from very low frequency. So minus 20 dB per decade and at omega is equal to 1, it has how much? 14 dB. So let me take it here. So at omega is equal to 1, it has a 14 dB. So nice. I told you this is the only point which I know as of now, right? So it is having 14. That is also okay, right? 14. And then 1 and 4 both are corner frequencies. Nice. So now have you seen, interesting part is minus 20 dB per decay is the initial slope. So it may all the way come like this, right? It may all the way come like this. And it was also mentioned like third order. It was also mentioned like third order. So it has the slope of, connect all the dots, it has a minus 20 dB per decay, correct? Minus 20 dB per decay. So that means G of S into H of S, right? Open loop transfer function, it might be equal to K is there, obviously K will be there, and minus 20 dB per decay initial slope means, yeah, decreasing slope means there will be a pole. Yes, there is a pole at origin that I am keeping here. Decreasing slope, pole will be there. Yes, pole. Now, whether this is pole or 0, how do I know that? 1 and 4, both are poles or zeros. How do you know that? 1 and pole. Because they told that it is a third order system, right? It's a third order unity feedback system. That means I am very sure next corner frequencies, whatever I am going to get, I can write down like this S plus 1 and this is S plus 4 straight away. These two also must be poles. They also must be poles. But the problem here is, how do you identify what is the magnitude here? I am really glad to see from your side how many of you can catch this one. What is the magnitude at that value? Because if you see 1 one decay you come down, right? One decay you come down. So before one decay, if you take it 0.1, that means 0.1 to 1, I can say this is one decade, correct? One decade. That's why I am taking this 0.1. But what would be the magnitude at this point? Because we know at 1 we have 14. At 1 we have 14. So what must be the magnitude here? Have you remembered the case here? It is going with the slope of 20 dB per decade. That means when the frequency changed from 0.1 to 1, which is one decade, the magnitude should decay by 20 dB. That means here it must be 34. Am I right or not? Yes, very good. Tarpan, excellent, excellent Tarpan. Very good. You caught it very clearly. I think the very first time you have messaged, but you have shot it like this, correct? So very good Tarpan. So 34 is the value here, 14 is the value. Then only you can see from here to here the decrement in the magnitude is how much? 20 dB, correct? And the frequency rise is one decade. So perfectly all right. So why, you may argue with me, sir, why you are calculating this 34 unnecessarily? So because you can find the accurate value of K only at the low frequencies. Clear? Now the lowest frequency available here is 0.1. 0.1 might not be a corner frequency. 0.1 is not a corner frequency. 0.1 is not a corner frequency. But 0.1 is a very important frequency where we can catch the value of magnitude. Clear? So that is 34. Now can anybody catch what is the value of K? Now it's very easy here, right? So find out magnitude of this one. Modulus of j omega into h of j omega, I can say, which is equal to, of course, K divided by, so look at that, K divided by, this is going to be omega into under root of 1 plus omega square, and then this will be 4 plus 16 plus omega square, of course. And now keep omega is equal to 0.1, right? So in dB, what will be this one? In dB, I should say it is 20 log of, I would be writing this as K divided by 0.1, and I am replacing at omega is equal to 0.1. Right? At omega is equal to 0.1 radian per second. Remember this point, you can find the accurate value of K only at the low frequency. Again, I am saying this one. So 1 plus 0.1 whole square here, right, into 16 plus 0.1 whole square, correct? And this must be equal to 34 dB. Because at omega is equal to 0.1, we have identified that this is equal to 34. Very good. Bindu has given the answer. Nice. Lovely. Very good. Nice. So now I am seeing some new students' response. Anyway, this is almost equal to 1, and this is also almost equal to how much? So 16 plus 0.1 whole square, that will come almost equal to 16 only. Under root of 16, this will be 4. So 0.1 into 4, I would be saying this is equal to 34. Be slow and find out what is the value of K. So can you guys please let me know what is the value of K? So logarithmic of K divided by 0.1 into 4, 0.4, that must be equal to, 34 divided by 20. So let me make it here, 34 divided by 20. What would be the value? 1.7, right? So then I can say K is equal to, K by 0.4 equal to 10 power 1.7, right? So don't neglect, because when you are doing, mistakes in these simple calculations, again, as I said, it will cost you a lot. So K is equal to 0.4 into 10 to the power of 1.7. Make it fast. All of you, what will be the value? So 10 to the power of 1.7, right, into 0.4. Excellent. 20. A lot of students have given the answer as 20. Nice. So it is 20. So what would be the final answer? So we have taken the transfer function like this. Now you got K is equal to 20. So K is equal to 20. That is what you have evaluated from the lowest frequency. Therefore, option A is correct answer. Clear? Now you are required to find gain crossover frequency, phase crossover frequency. Now I am giving this as a homework to you, as I have already solved one question related to gain margin and phase margin. Now you take the privilege and try to get the gain crossover frequency and phase crossover frequency and catch the correct option out of this. Okay, so take this as a homework and do sincerely. And of course, you can easily do this one. Finding gain crossover frequency and phase crossover frequency is a cakewalk, because the majority of the work I have done it. Clear? I am leaving this for your homework. Let me go to the next question, because there are one or two good questions are there. So let me wind up that. So which of the following is the transfer function of a system having the Nyquist plot shown in the figure? So, well, there are four options. related to the Nyquist plot. Now you need to get it. I will give 2 to 3 minutes time. Let's work out for this question because this is the Nyquist plot. Whenever Nyquist plot comes, we need to respect the Nyquist plot. So relax and slowly do it. So now you see what is the phase offered by this system. First of all, phase offered by this system, I could say there are two poles here, that is minus 180 degrees I could say, and then minus 180 degrees, and then plus tan inverse of numerator is omega, simply like omega, and minus tan inverse of omega by 2. I think let me take the option A. Let me do with the option A first of all. Option A, what would be the phase offered by the option A? So option A phase, this is minus 180 degrees I could say, and plus tan inverse of omega, of course, tan inverse of omega, minus tan inverse of omega by 2, and then minus tan inverse of omega by 5 here. So omega by 5. Now why I am doing this is, just look at that. Just look at that. Sir, gain crossover frequency is calculated at phase margin and phase crossover frequency is calculated at gain margin. Yeah. Correct. Correct, Tundas. Perfectly all right. What you mentioned is extremely correct. Excellent. Nice. Now you got the phase like this. Relax. Look at whether the option A phase will match with this Nyquist plot or not. So he is saying that usually it is not imaginary and real axis. So instead of that, we will go with the polar plot, right? So 0 degree let us take, and then this would be taken as minus 90 here, right? And then this would be taken as minus 180 degrees all the way, right? So now look at this most beautiful point here, right? So at omega is equal to 0, if you substitute, at omega is equal to 0, what is the phase? Phase is coming as 0 degrees, correct? Phase is coming as 0 degree, right? Sorry, minus 180 degrees. I am extremely sorry. When you keep omega is equal to 0, the phase must come as minus 180 degrees here, correct? So at omega is equal to 0, phase must come as minus 180 degrees, right? And when I substitute omega is equal to infinity, what would be the phase here? Here phase, if you see omega is equal to infinity, means this goes to 90 degrees and this come down to 90, and it will also come down to 90 here. So here it will become like minus 190, minus 90 and minus 180. Altogether it will become like minus 360 degrees plus 90 degrees here, correct? Plus 90 degrees. So totally it will become minus 270 degrees. But if you look at omega is equal to plus infinity, this phase all the way it is getting and it is closing at this 0 degree, correct? At 0 degree, correct? So it's closing at 0 degree. Obviously I can say at omega equal to infinity, the phase is not matching with this, correct? So option A is straight away wrong answer, and option B is the only possibility with this, right? So if you look at option B, and if you calculate the phase like what I have done here, at omega is equal to 0, the phase would be equal to minus 180 degrees. Why? Because of two poles which are there here, correct? At minus 180 degrees, right? And when you keep omega is equal to infinity also, right? Infinity also, what would be the phase, right? So what would be the phase? So many students, they will go like this. What would be the phase? Everyone must answer here. 42 students are there in the live, but very few are answering here. So at omega is equal to infinity, if I keep, what would be the value of the phase here? What would be the value of the phase? Any one of you? What would be the value of this? If you keep omega is equal to infinity, then the phase offered by this will be 90 degrees, phase offered by this will be 90 degrees, and phase offered by this will be minus 90, and phase offered by this will be minus 90. Correct? When we add this, the phase contributed by all the zeros are here and poles will be cancelled. You left with the phase again with the s square only, correct? So that means again the phase must be equal to minus 180 degrees at omega is equal to infinity. Now tell me, you have randomly selected option B. Can I say now option B is correct answer? Because option B is saying that at omega is equal to 0, phase is equal to minus 180 degrees. At omega is equal to infinity, phase is equal to minus 180 degrees. Correct? Option B is correct or not? Option B is correct or not? One thing, it is sure that option A we have eliminated. But most of the students, they go with the option B right immediately as they found that option A is wrong. But technically speaking, option B is also wrong answer. Option B is wrong. Why? At omega is equal to 0, minus 180. Omega is equal to infinity, minus 180 degrees. But if you look at carefully, the phase is not ended at minus 180 here. It went like this, it went like this, it went like this and closed at this one, 0 degree, correct? It closed all the way at 0 degree here, clear? So 0 degree, or we can say 360 degrees. So option B is also wrong. How many of you enjoyed this one? Option A, none of the option is correct here. Option A is wrong, option B is also wrong, right? So how many of you enjoyed this question? Answer to me, right? Almost we started 1.5 hours back, but still I am seeing a lot of energy in you. Option B is wrong. A lot of you are trapped here. So both will not going to match the criteria of phase, because this plot says that at omega is equal to 0, the phase must be equal to minus 180 degrees, and at omega is equal to infinity, the phase must be equal to minus, you can start 180 degrees to 360 degrees, or maybe simply like 0 degrees. Clear? Right. Getting so much interest. Thank you very much. So either we can say 360 degrees here, or it could be 0 degree. So the best possibility for this is the transfer function, I should say, g of s into h of s is equal to k divided by s square into s plus a into s plus b. This would be the best possibility. Clear? This is the best possibility, right? Now, this is one way, it is done. Now, let me go to the next one here. This is an Nyquist plot. Let us look at C and D options here. If the open loop system is stable, then the closed loop system is stable. Fine. That means stability analysis we have to do. So, how do we do the stability analysis? Just take minus 1, 0 point here. Somewhere here, minus 1, 0 will be there. Draw a line from here. So, how many times it will encircle here? So that means minus 1, 0 point, how many times it will encircle here? So it is going to encircle in 2 times, right? So let me make it very clear to you. All of you just have patience for 5 to 10 minutes. We will be winding the session. Don't worry about that, okay? So just look at this, minus 1, 0. This is one time it is encirclement, and this is also encirclement. This is the clockwise encirclements. So number of anti-clockwise encirclements is equal to P minus Z. But right now we have 2 clockwise encirclements, so n would be taken as minus 2, that is equal to P minus Z, right? Now he is saying that if the open loop system is stable, then the closed loop system is also stable, correct? Open loop system is stable means closed loop system is also stable. That's what he is saying. So here this is actually meant for anti-clockwise encirclement, but right now we have clockwise encirclements, that's why I took minus 2 here. 2 clockwise encirclements means n is equal to minus 2. Now, open loop system is stable means the value of P is equal to 0. What is P? P stands for number of poles of open loop system lies in the right hand side of the S-plane. Now, when I say open loop system is stable, inherently it means that yes, there is no open loop pole which is there in the right hand side of the S-plane, that is equal to 0. Then if that is the case, then straight away I can say Z is equal to 2. Z is equal to 2 means 2 poles of closed loop system lies in right hand side of S-plane, and the system is going to be, the closed loop system is unstable, correct? So closed loop system is unstable. Option D is the correct answer for this question. C is wrong, only option D is the correct answer. Tarun Devang is correct. That is yes, very good. Such a good question this is, right? So most of you trapped here, right? Most of you thought that this is correct answer and you got trapped. Fine. Krishnaveni, very good. Answer is option D. Fine. Now this question, 14th question, that is also MSQ. Let me do fatapat here. The transfer function of a compensator is given like this, okay? That will provide a phase lead of 45 degrees, good, and a gain of 10 dB at omega is equal to 8 radians per second. Nice. Let's see what would be the case here. First of all, let us take T of S is the transfer function of the compensator here, Kc into alpha into 1 plus. Another one question is there, it will take just 5 minutes. Just please be with me till the end of the session. Don't leave, okay? Because last question is also good question, okay? So this would be written as S tau, and then it is 1 plus alpha into T into S here, correct? So how do we get the phase of this system? First of all, replace S is equal to j omega. Then it will become like Kc into alpha into 1 plus j into omega into T here, whole divided by 1 plus j into alpha into omega into T. Clear? So that's all. Now if you catch the phase of this one, phase of this could be written as like this phase of the compensator, which is equal to that is tan inverse of omega t first of all. So we'll provide a phase lead of 45 degrees. So tan inverse of omega t and then minus tan inverse of alpha omega t here. Clear? Alpha omega t. I think you might be knowing that how to get this one. D, option D, all above all or not correct. Oh, very good. Let us see. So this, let me take the phase here. So tan inverse of omega t, right? Omega t, right? Minus tan inverse of alpha into omega t. This is your phase, right? But he is also saying that will provide a phase lead of 45 and gain of 10 radian per second at 8 radian per second. Correct? So that means at omega is equal to 8 radian per second. Let me calculate the phase first. Correct? So what would be the phase here then? So tan inverse of 8 times of t minus tan inverse of, right, alpha into 8 into t, that he is saying that it has a 45 degrees. Correct? So alpha we don't know, even t we don't know. Now my suggestion is just let us look at this t and alpha and substitute here t and alpha and see whether that will come correct or not. So let's see, phi is equal to tan inverse of, because this is the only way, no other option is there. We need to substitute the option. This is one more type of MSQ. Correct? You need to get everything from the options here, right? You don't have another option. T is 0.138. So let me write down here. Raghuram, please help me here. So calculate this by using your calculator and tell me fatafat here. So 8 into t, I have substituted that, and minus tan inverse of alpha. What is the alpha given? 0.1715. 0.1715 into alpha is 8. Omega is 8. And t is going to be 0.3018. 0.3018. Can you calculate this and let me know whether it is coming 45 degrees or not? If it is coming, then we can go with that option, right? So otherwise, let me do fatafat here. So tan inverse of 8 into once again. So tan inverse of 8 into 0.3018, right? And minus tan inverse of 0.1715 into 8 into 0.3018 here. Correct? So yes, of course, it's coming, right? 44.46, it's almost equal to 45 only. It's coming, right? It's coming. So that means maybe the combination could be correct answer. We can take, right? We can take that one, right? So because there is no other option, you cannot prove in any other way, right? So I need to go with these three only, right? So A and C would be a correct possibility here. Yes, 45 it's coming approximately 45. Next B, whether this is correct or not, that is where you have to see. Then look at, he is saying the magnitude is also equal to 10 dB. So how do we get the magnitude of this one? So magnitude in dB, I would be saying, in dB, directly I am writing because I assume that you all are capable to find the magnitude. So 20 log of Kc into alpha under root of 1 plus omega t whole square here, right, divided by 1 plus alpha t. So under root of 1 plus alpha into omega into t whole square. Just substitute omega is equal to 8 radian per second as it was given in the question, 8 radian per second, and it must be equal to what is the value? So he is saying that 10 dB, right? It must be equal to 10. Now we have in this function, we have to substitute, let me say 20 log of, look at that, Kc we don't know, alpha we know, we have agreed with this value, 0.1715, this is also a good question, into 1 plus omega is 8 into 0. What is the t value? 0.3018, correct? And that square here. So this must be squared divided by under root of again 1 plus, right, alpha omega t. Alpha value you know already. What is the value of alpha? 0.1715 into omega is 8 into 0.3018 whole square. This must be all the way equal to 10. And if you equate it to 10, then you will going to get the value of Kc. Can you please do for me? Any one of you, can you calculate fast and tell me? Krishnaveni and Raghuram and Tarun as well as Kumari, Chinmay Rai. I think Kumari, now I am not spelling you wrong. Okay. So calculate Kc and look at whether you are getting correct or not. Because you have only one value of Kc, 7.636. So otherwise substitute 7.36 here and see whether you are going to get correct answer or not. Right. Just that part you can see. From here you need to calculate Kc value and check whether you are correct or not. Check whether you are correct or not. Such a simple question this is. I just expect an answer from at least one of you. So let me substitute, as we have 7.636 here, and see whether that is correct or not. That would be easy way, I think. Yes, 7.636. 20 log of. Anyone? No one has calculated? I think all of you are working on this. So fine, then we work it, no problem. It is not a great calculation. Just you need to calculate and put it and get the solution. And if anyone get Kc value which is equal to 7.6 or not, please let me know in the comment section. Meanwhile, I will show you the glimpse of the next question. Okay. Next question, of course, it is from the last topic, that is the state space analysis. State space analysis. Look at that. The state space representation of a system is given by x of t. Of course, this is A here. Undoubtedly, this is A. And this is, of course, B here. And this is going to be C. Anyone solved? Oh, K value is coming 10.09. Yes, yes. Raghu, are you right? Calculate the value of Kc here and look at whether you are getting the value of Kc as 7.636 or not. If you are getting this, select this option. Otherwise, it's a wrong answer. So, Kc value is also correct. Correct. Very good. Excellent. Correct. Correct. Excellent. So, thank you very much and love you guys because you are keeping a lot of hard work. I really wish all the best to every one of you. I am really overwhelmed by seeing the response, right? So unlike the other classes, almost 50 students were there in the live one point of time. That's really good. Thanks for your trust on me. And I think we have really done good and decent enough in the entire questions of 15 questions I have solved, right? So now A is there, B is there, C is there. So one thing is then the impulse response is dash. Whether this is impulse response or this is impulse response. Oh, now if you see A and B and D, all these three options we can actually make only with the transfer function, correct? So catch the transfer function then first. So the transfer function, you know that is equal to L inverse of B into what would be the transfer function? Transfer function formula. Any one of you? Transfer function formula. First of all, if you want the transfer function, please mention transfer function formula. But anyway, before that, to get the transfer function, first of all, you need to get L inverse of Si minus A whole inverse, correct? So let me get first Si minus A whole inverse. I would like to see from your side what would be the formula for transfer function. So Si minus A, if you get, first let me calculate this. Meanwhile, you try to mention in the comment section what is the formula for transfer function. I want to see from your side. So S into I minus A. What would be A here? Simple. Go back to A. Minus 1 comma 0. It's a simple question, not complex. So 0. So make it fast here. Sir, yeah. I will share the PDF. Don't worry about that. First of all, focus here, right? So this will be equal to here S plus 1. So this is S plus 1. S plus 1 and then 0. And of course, this is 0. And then 0 and 0. This is also 0. And S minus 0. This is S. Clear? So simple and straightforward. This is Si minus A, right? And then go for Si minus A inverse, because this is what is the next important step we need to calculate. That can be written as 1 divided by S into S plus 1 undoubtedly. And here I can say S and this is S plus 1 and this is 0 and this is 0 naturally. If you go inside, then you will be getting so simple that this is going to be 1 by S plus 1 undoubtedly, and this is 0, 0 here, and this is going to be 1 divided by S. So this is Si minus A whole inverse, right? No, Kumari, wrong answer. That's, I know that a lot of students, they do mistake. Even Devang also made the mistake, right? So Si minus A inverse into B. Is it correct answer? Right? Is it correct answer? That's why I told you clearly that I know a lot of students, they commit the mistake here. So mention the transfer function formula in the comment section. Then only I will take the next step. I want every one of you to recollect. Up to now I am shouting like anything, right? What would be the transfer function formula? Raghu, Satyasri. Yeah, yes, right? So you are missing that, right? C into Si minus A whole inverse into B. Okay, so this is not a complex formula. So you remember like this, B will come and then inverse, and then C will come and then inverse and B, reverse. Okay, so C into Si minus A inverse into B plus D also actually. Wonderful, that's correct. Kaipa correct, Kaipa, right? But right now D is not there, so I am not using the D value here. So let's not worrying, worrying about that. So let's get into the transfer function for here. Transfer function. So what would be the transfer function here? C. What is the C value here? C is 1 1. But before that 1 1, yes, 1 1, and then Si minus A inverse. What is the Si minus A inverse? 1 divided by S plus 1, 0 0 and 1 by S. Very nice. And then B. What is B matrix? Minus 1 comma 1, minus 1 comma 1 here. Correct. So moving ahead, I can say the transfer function could be written as 1 1, and of course if you multiply this into this and plus this into this, so this will be simply equal to minus 1 divided by S plus 1, and this into this and plus this into this, so again this is going to be 1 by S, right? So therefore if you find the last step, that is transfer function, which is equal to C of S by R of S, of course that will be equal to 1 by S minus 1 divided by S plus 1. This is what you will be getting. Clear? So after getting this function, still it is not completed. Why? Because they are asking the impulse response. Impulse response means R of S is equal to 1. For impulse response means input must be impulse. So therefore R of S is equal to 1. Then C of S is equal to 1 by S minus 1 by S plus 1. Fatafat calculate now what is C of T here. Don't stop here. So C of T could be written as L inverse of C of S here. So L inverse of C of S. So L inverse of 1 divided by S minus 1 divided by S plus 1. May I know what would be the answer here? So it would be like 1 minus e power minus t into u of t will be there, naturally u of t. So is the correct answer? That is impulse response. Look at that. Yes, option A is the correct answer. Option A is correct answer. Option B is wrong answer. Now option D you see. Then the impulse response of the system at t is equal to 1 is 0.38. Whether that is correct or not. Option D. Substitute at t is equal to 1. T is equal to 1 second. Correct. So t is equal to 1 second. C of 1 could be written as 1 minus e power minus 1. Sorry. E power minus 1. Guys, check this one. We are in the last stage. So please let me know what would be the value here. Option D is correct or not, right? So no sir, it is 0.632. Okay, right. Yeah, I think you are right. So I agree with you. Yes, this is 0.632. 0.632 it will come. Yes, 63.2% actually. So option D is the wrong answer. Now only the thing which is left is the system is controllable and observable. This is the last thing which we need to do. I think you guys are capable of doing that, right? So but as of my responsibility, let me give fatafat here. So first I think I don't have the space here, so let me use the space here, otherwise right. So for controllability calculate 5C matrix. 5C matrix, as you know already, that it will be like B and then AB here, correct? Controllability I am calculating. So B is what? So simple. B is straight away minus 1 and 1. AB I am going to calculate AB. Minus 1 into minus 1 and this is 1. So minus 1 and then 0 0. Yes. So simple. Minus 1 and 0. Right? So then I am sure determinant of 5C is equal to minus 1 minus 1. So it is 1. Minus of minus 1, it is 1. So which is not equal to 0. Correct? Which is not equal to 0. This is very simple. So I have taken controllability matrix and have evaluated the determinant, and the determinant is not equal to 0, means the rank of this matrix is equal to 2, which is equal to order of the system. Therefore the system is completely controllable. Yes, this is controllable. Right? Now look at the observability here. So let me take another space here. I am really struggling with the space. Right? So observability matrix I should say, which is equal to C transpose and A transpose C transpose. Correct? So what is C transpose here? First of all, C transpose. Look at C transpose here. 1 1. Very nice. 1 1. And A transpose and C transpose. So A transpose and C transpose. C transpose I told you 1 1. And A transpose I know that minus 1 0 and 0, 0 only. Then if you calculate A transpose and C transpose, what you will going to get? Minus 1 into 1 and 0 into 1. So it is minus 1 only. And then obviously this is 0, right? Minus 1 comma 0. Very nice. Minus 1 comma 0. Once again, if you calculate the observability matrix here also, the determinant of this also will come down to be equal to 1. Correct? So that means rank of this matrix is also equal to 2. Therefore, I can confidently say yes, it is observable. Clear? So observable. So this is the way how we can expect the questions, right? In fact, we have really done well, because as I said at the starting of the session itself, don't expect that these questions will come in the examination, because the idea of showing the MSQ is to make you understand what way they can ask a MSQ question, or how they can frame MSQ question in a single concept. If the question generally comes from the root locus, then it is very lengthy question. It's supposed to be very lengthy question. But of course, if it should be lengthy question, it can be lengthy question from any of the topic. Okay, even from the state space, they can ask like state transition matrix at t is equal to 1 is this. Or they may ask a question like state equation equal to this. So, statement of the question is simple, but as you require to evaluate 4 options, right? So, therefore, you naturally need to go through everything, right? So, thank you very much, RR, right? So, it's 2 hours nearly, yes, 2 hours nearly. I should appreciate your patience. Even in the last minute, really, you have made, so much of effort. I am really overwhelmed, and even I am surprising to see the dropout ratio is very less. Only 5 to 6 students are oscillating. Almost everybody is strictly, consistently listening till the end. And I can't really express my words. Okay, but I really thankful to every one of you. You also enjoyed. I also enjoyed. Let's make this journey so successful. At the same time, I am going to take one more YouTube live session tomorrow. That is on complementary root locus. Because majority of the students, they are messaging me in WhatsApp and Telegram, sir, please explain the concept of complementary root locus. I will be taking tomorrow. So definitely we will also rock that session. And meanwhile, I would like to mention this point that those who are interested to write the full mock test, full length mock test, or else as well as the subject wise mock test, we can find all the kind of mock tests are available. Test series is available on BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now, before going to wind up this session, last but not the least point, tomorrow we are going to have complementary session, complementary root locus, and then I will also come for one more YouTube live session where I will explain how to utilize the 3 hours of examination time more efficiently. What are all the mistakes you will commit during the examination? Because I have written GATE almost 11 times, right? 11 times I have written. So I know what kind of pressure you will be facing during 3 hours of time. Whether you should attempt the aptitude at the starting or in the middle or in the end, or how to reduce the silly mistakes in the examination, how to utilize the calculator so efficiently, all these things we will going to discuss in one YouTube live session, and don't miss that question, right? Don't miss that. Clear? Once again, I wish all the best. So we'll be meeting in tomorrow's session for complementary root locus. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.